Hello everyone, this is Adam Ball coming to you today from my classroom, here to talk about some themes of teaching that I do really well, or at least I think I do really well, and some themes of teaching that I think that I can probably improve upon. First, starting with things that I do well, I think I'm very good at personal relevance, especially I teach a career choices class, and in that class, students research different careers that they want to possibly pursue. They work on life skills like budgeting. We work with credit cards and debit cards. We work with interviewing skills, writing resumes, goal setting, all of these things that really relate well to a student's success outside of school. And I think that I am able to effectively use personal relevance in order to help them gain a better understanding of the importance of the material that they're learning. I think I am pretty good at congruency. I think that I'm able to connect classroom activities to learning goals pretty well. I'm always looking back at my lesson plans and my objectives that I'm writing in order to make sure that every activity that I do relates to one of the objectives for the day in some way, shape, or form. Just making sure that everything ties in together and that the students understand what they're going to be learning that day. I'm also pretty good at connection, I think, because I am able to take some of the past learning that students have done and really apply it to the things that they're doing in lessons that are taking place during that particular day. For example, I teach a computer science class where we code apps for Android devices. And some of the coding skills that the students learn from the second day of the classroom are still applied in some of the apps that they're creating. Today, we're on day 60 now, around there somewhere. And so a lot of those skills really transfer over well, and the students are able to build upon the things that they learned starting from the very beginning of the semester. Also, I think I'm pretty good at stagecraft. I'm very theatrical when I'm teaching. I'm good at kind of putting on a show for the students and just kind of getting them engaged through my own personal excitement and just kind of theatrics that happen. Finally, I think time and timing is one of my strengths. I think that I'm good at allowing students to have the appropriate amount of time that they need for each activity. I think when I'm planning, I have a really good understanding of my students, and I have a really good understanding of how long I think an activity will take for them. And I think that my classroom management really benefits because of that. And I think that my students are able to accomplish more because I understand how long it's going to take them to do things. So there's not a whole lot of wasted time in my lessons. Things that I need to improve upon. Number one, I need to improve upon mid-course corrections. I am a very structured person, and when I have a structure, I try and follow it to the best of my ability, and deviating from that structure is a little hard sometimes for me. And if a lesson is failing, it takes me a little bit too long sometimes to try and find those corrections and make those corrections during the lesson, especially in order to improve upon it. Second, chunking. I think that I can always get better at chunking. Sometimes I feel like I present the students with too much information all at once. Sometimes I feel like I'm presenting them with not enough information. I'm giving them too little, and we're spending way too much time on a single concept that the students already grasp 100%. While other times I feel like I'm throwing way too much at the students, especially in computer science when we're talking about coding. We're talking about different coding languages, when we're talking about just developing apps, especially. I feel like sometimes I present too much information at once, and I think I need to find a balance that's more appropriate for my students. Also, mental models. I think I can always improve on my mental models. I think that the graphic organizers and images that I use really relate well to me, but I think that I don't always take into consideration how my students learn best, and I think that I need to reflect on the successes and failures that I've had with some of the models that I've used in my class more often, and try and adjust some of the ones that I think are less helpful. So those are my themes, both good and bad, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. All right, bye.